cruiser. Is the Lincoln Navigator a good SUV? The Lincoln Navigator is a remarkable SUV. It positions among class pioneers and for all intents and purposes each territory. Its motor puts out more strength than most opponents' motors, it has one of the most elevated towing limits in the class, it offers more freight space than most contenders, and it gets incredible gas mileage for an extravagance extensive SUV. Overall this present Lincoln's wonderful Lodge is loaded with first-class materials. It has numerous standard and accessible highlights, including loads of driver help innovation. Regardless of what you need out of your next SUV, the Navigator will inspire. Would it be a good idea for me to buy the Lincoln Navigator? So, yes. The Navigator has for all intents and purposes no shortcomings, making it a standout amongst the most balanced extravagance expansive SUVs available. It additionally has a lower beginning cost than numerous contenders, which means it's an extraordinary vehicle, as well as an incredible incentive too. The Lincoln Navigator is totally updated for 2018. Along these lines, our survey just uses look into from this model year. Guide interior. What number of people does the Navigator seat? The Lincoln Navigator seats 7 or 8 individuals, contingent upon whether you pick the second push seat or Chief's seats. Every one of the 3 columns of seats have enough space for grown-ups to ride serenely, and the seats stay strong on long treks. The accessible 30-way control customizable seats are among the best offered in any SUV. Guide and car seats. The Navigator highlights latch-type situate connectors for all second push seating positions, and also for the third push detachable seats. Guide interior quality. Any protestations about the Navigator's inside will qualify as nitpicking. It includes a plenitude of premium materials, looks appealing, and, maybe in particular, has the mood of an extravagance SUV. This Lincoln is a class pioneer in load space. The base model has more than 19 cubic feet of room behind the back seats, which is sufficient space for a brilliant retriever and a few shopping sacks. Creased during the time and third columns, and you'll have more than 103 cubic feet of room. While that is sufficient space for some huge open-air adapt, you shouldn't hope to pull furniture or plywood in the 7-situate Navigator demonstrate. Its second push focus reassure makes it hard to pull cumbersome things. The long wheelbase Navigator L has much more load space, with more than 34 cubic feet of room behind the third line and a most extreme limit of around 120 cubic feet. The Lincoln Navigator seats 7 or 8 individuals, contingent upon whether you need the second push seat or commander's seats. Warmed front seats, 10-way control movable front seats, and warmed second push seats come standard. Ventilated front seats, 24 and 30-way control flexible front seats, needing front seats, and a warmed directing wheel are accessible. The Navigator highlights latch youngster situate connectors for all second push seating positions, and in addition for the third push detachable seats. The Navigator's front seats are incredible regardless, yet the discretionary 30-way control movable seats are superior to those and for all intents and purposes each other SUV. The second push seats are open and agreeable, and even the third column has a lot of room for grown-up travelers. That is not guaranteed, even in a substantial SUV. Standard highlights in the Navigator incorporate tri-zone programmed atmosphere control, push catch begin, remote begin, a 110-volt electrical plug, 6 USB ports, 4G LTE, a Wi-Fi problem area, a 14-speaker Revel sound framework, satellite radio, and the Sync 3 infotainment framework with a 10-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto similarity, and route. Accessible highlights incorporate an all-encompassing sunroof, remote gadget charging, a backseat diversion framework, and a 20-speaker Revel sound framework. Standard driver help highlights incorporate My Key, a rear-view camera, front and back stopping sensors, blind side observing, and back cross movement caution. Accessible highlights incorporate versatile voyage control, a head-up show, a 360-degree camera, forward impact cautioning, passerby recognition, path takeoff cautioning, path keep help, driver sluggishness observing, and parallel and opposite stop help. The Navigator isn't short on tech or dynamic well-being highlights. The infotainment screen is anything but difficult to see and reach from the driver's seat, and the interface sets aside little opportunity to ace. The designs could be more honed, be that as it may. All other dash controls, including their physical catches and handles, are efficient, making it simple to discover the changes you requirement for sound and atmosphere capacities. The Navigator has exceptional load space. It has 19.3 cubic feet of payload space with all seats being used, 63.6 cubic feet with the third push seats collapsed, and 103.3 cubic feet with the second and third columns collapsed. Regardless of whether you get the standard or L display, the Navigator has more freight space than relatively every SUV in the class. A without hands control liftgate and control collapsing second and third push seats come standard. Regardless of the greater part of this space, pulling vast things in models with the second push focus comfort can be troublesome. However, it's not an issue in the event that you have the second push seat situate. For greater adaptability, you can get a layered load administration framework for behind the third column.